Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Taskmaster Tuesday for Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. In this series, I play against a couple of other YouTubers linked down below in the description. The challenge is to see who can get the most points, get a task done the fastest, the easiest, in the most weird way, and this week we have a serious challenge on our hands. We have had a couple of requests asking, hey, can you guys maybe do some more matches where you don't have attack advantage, where you have attack disadvantage, and then see how well you do. So that's what we're doing this time around. We get one battlecruiser from 1920s, and the German Empire will be the opponent with 1940s tech. They will get a battleship and 3 heavy cruisers. Now here's the catch. The fastest person to sink all the German ships without using deck-mounted torpedoes is the winner. If none of us manage that, then the Admiral who kills the German ships the fastest with the use of deck-mounted torpedo launchers is the winner. If none of us manage that, then the Admiral who's able to stay afloat longest is the winner. This mission was somewhat adapted by Brother Monroe from the Prove Your Might Naval Academy mission. So, one battlecruiser to take on a battleship that is 20 years more advanced. This is going to be quite the challenge. My plan for this one is to build a battlecruiser which is really heavily armored. I also want some really big guns on it because I'm going to need those as I'm going to try and do this task without the use of torpedoes at all. That's potentially going to make this really difficult. Really, really difficult indeed. But we'll see how it works. And rather, if it works. Bulkheads to max. Let's see. What kind of guns can I get? 16-inch. Mark 1. That thing has a reload of 2 minutes. Oh, Jesus. Oh no. The Mark 14 guns, the 14-inch guns have a reload of only 62 seconds. Well, only. Damage 9,500. Damage here 20,000. If I go for full reload upgrades, I can push this down to 92 seconds. Okay. These things weigh 2,100 tons. That means I could put 3 turrets on, and probably not much more. Yikes, that's putting all your eggs in 2 turrets. Yeah, picture that, putting eggs in turrets. Let's analyze. The Germans have better tech. That means better reload, better accuracy, better torpedoes, insofar as they're going to be putting those on their ships. But with the AI being usually quite trigger happy on the torpedo builds, there is a good likelihood that the heavy cruisers will have a lot of torpedoes. My advantage as a battle cruiser could be speed. But I'm only using 1920s tech. So that kind of negates the whole speed advantage. If it's not speed, then it could be turning. It could be zigzagging, because that's something that the AI generally does not do too much of. If I were to go to shaft 3, my turning circle is still 1,000 meters. Turning rate's 1.63. If I go aux 3, 174. It's not great. Turning circle 939 meters. If I were to go for the smallest battlecruiser possible, my turning circle would be 573 meters. I don't... Well... Let's just see. Let's just see. If I go for something like this, it just has 6 guns, that's it. They fire every 92 seconds. I'm going to put a good rangefinder on them. A bit of a hydro system, that's not required. Super heavy shells, putting the damage to 23,000. Lyddite is probably not going to help me here. if I'm facing a battleship that has a maximum amount of bulkheads, then burning it down won't work. I'd rather have more damage. 12% shell damage from high TNT. And also reducing flash fire chance. Putting the damage at 19,731. I will also need one funnel. And that puts the ship overweight. Do I really need a funnel that size? No, this is going to be 82%. That's fair enough. The problem will be armor. And rather my inability to put any kind of armor on this ship. If I make it slightly larger, I really don't want that turning circle to go up too much. Not that I'm going to be constantly turning around. Or at least that's not part of the plan. If I go for 30,000, is it still acceptable? 30,000, 29,800. There. That just made the ship one touch bigger. The turrets will have to be pretty advanced in their capabilities to turn around, because I will be doing quite a bit of rotation. 4 weight offset is 6.5%. Ooh. That shifted in the other opposite direction. 1%, 0.4. Now, it does say you cannot use deck-mounted torpedoes. It does not say anything about underwater torpedoes. There is an argument to be made for rushing in with a bigger ship and going for a 20-inch torpedo rush. But if the AI so happens to decide on a battleship that is 70,000 tons, or even 120,000 tons, I think Germany can get, then good luck. Good luck, because you won't be able to flood it. And the only thing that will happen is that my poorly armored ship will get into range of the enemy battleship and probably pretty promptly get damaged, if not heavily damaged, by the secondaries, as well, of course, as the mains. I'm not really sure about this build. I think this is one of the few builds that might work. Now, what I am somewhat reminded of is the story of the two guys outrunning the lion or the tiger. It's this parable, this joke about two guys outrunning a lion. And one guy stops to outrun the lion and puts on his running shoes. And the other guy goes, "What the hell are you doing?" And the guy goes, "I just have to be a little bit faster than you." And if you can outrun the other guy, so if I can just outlast the other players, if none of us manages to kill any of the other ships, the one to stay afloat longest is the winner. So maybe I should just stay alive for a long time. And at 33 knots, I can run away fairly well. Not so much the Indomitable. This is the HMS Unlikely. The HMS Unlikely. Okay, here we go. Six barrels. A reload of, what was it, 60? 90 seconds? 99 seconds. Oh no. Hello, German battleship. Are you in range? Yeah, you should be. 24 kilometer range. Yes, you're in range. Hold on a minute. Have we been detected? Oh, yes. The guns are very slowly swiveling to starboard. The problem lies in their ability to hit me and my supposed inability to hit them. HMS Unlikely, here we go. Can you, or can you not, deal damage to the enemy? No. I meant to just prep this for a screenshot. Like that. Thank you very much. Inbound fire from the enemy battleship. Chance to hit, 4.5%. Alright, and now we commence zigzagging. Insofar as you can do that with a 30,000 ton battleship or battle cruiser. Looks like those were just a few ranging shots. If I can sink the battleship, then... oh, crappy hell. Then the heavy cruisers might not be that much of a threat. Uh-oh. Keep zigzagging. 99-second reload. That just goes to show how much of a tech advantage you can get if you can get Mark 3, 4, 5 turrets. It just makes such a difference. There is another strategy that I can try. It'll take a long time, and it'll rely on the enemy battleship and her capabilities. I first need ID. That's a priority. Don't you go and hit me now. I first need ID on that ship. For this plan to work, I need to know how much ammo it carries. Oh, shit. Ouch. I need to know how much ammo it carries. Because I'm thinking that I might just steer out of the range of that battleship and just let it empty its magazines. If I can just have it not fire at me, then I might have a chance, or something that resembles that, of just damaging it when it cannot damage me. ID 46% and climbing. Just save your ammo for now. We only have 582 rounds. I don't really have the luxury... oh, crap. I don't really have the luxury of spending a lot of ammo. Is that turret still operational? It is. Oh! Fire control damaged. Oh, that's really not very good. ID 64%. Now, even if I were to put armor on this battleship or this battle cruiser, I don't think I'd be able to do it. Because I'm just taking plunging fire, and plunging fire is incredibly difficult to stop. Oh, rudder damaged fire flooding. Stop. What are you shooting at me? Is that 16-inch? It has 4 triple barrels, so it probably has a lot of ammunition. And it can keep doing this for quite a while. I need that rudder back online. Because that rudder is pretty important in my whole zigzag strategy. See, it takes a while for the rudder to reset now. ID 91. Damage secondary tower. I lost line of sight. Well, maybe not line of sight, but I lost sight of the enemy battleship. Which is even more troubling, because now I have to go back in. Now I have to try and go back in. Looks like the rudder's not coming back. Nor is the fire control. Despite that, they can still hit me. My top speed will be 26 knots. Jeez, this is going to be a short Taskmaster vid. I've taken 2100 damage. And there she is again. You know what? Just continue. Circle around. 96% ID. Another shell bounced off the hull. 98. 99. 100. Hello, Helgoland. 15-inch guns. 476 rounds of ammunition remain. Chance to hit, about 4%. Speed, 23 knots. That's good. That means I can outturn it. And outspeed it. Bulkhead standard. Okay. Maintain your distance. Get outside of the range of the guns. And just see if you can outlast it. With a rate of fire of almost... What is that? It's 12 rounds every 40 seconds. We're going to be here a while. Which could help me in the sense of outlasting my opponents. Range 20 kilometers. Once this ship is out of 15-inch ammo, I'll be able to get quite close. Because the 6-inch guns, I don't have too much to fear from. But it's unlikely that the unlikely will survive that long. That's my challenge. Speed will be reduced to 24 knots. At some point, the AI is going to go yellow on its ammunition. Yeah, reduced ammo shells. I can exploit that. The AI is going to go yellow on its ammunition, which means it'll go, oh crap, I cannot afford to fire too many more shots. Unless I have a high likelihood of hitting my target. And when it does that, it'll stop firing. Another fire. 368 shells left on the Helgoland. Turn back. All this zigzagging and trying to get out of range, or at least increasing the range, does seem to do something against the Well, that's unfortunately. Battle cruisers and their flash fires, I'm telling you. So that didn't work. How long did I last? I don't know. Because I didn't check the clock before I got clocked out by the battleship. Yeah. I don't know really how to counter this one. How do you kill a battleship that has 20 years tech advantage on you and is escorted by 3 heavies? Beats me. Now, I have failed the Taskmaster challenge, but I want to try the torpedo rush tactic. So we're going to sweep the ship. I'm going to maximize the speed to 44 knots. I'm going to give it the lightest main tower that I can find. I'm going to give it the lightest secondary tower that I can find and the most underwater torpedo tubes that I can possibly bring. Which is a whole 2 per side. Stellar. I'm going to need gear turbines, oil, and forced boilers. I want to have a pretty significant funnel capacity, probably. 52.9 only. 100. There we go. Oops. 92.6. Yeah, that's good enough. I do need 2 main guns. Sure. This is not a serious Taskmaster attempt. This is just to see if it's viable. Oh, crap. If I make the ship even smaller, I won't be able to fit a second torpedo tube on the underwater line. There. Now I still have a lot of weight left. Let's go with maximum aux and maximum shaft. My turning circle probably won't be too pretty. 928. But if everything goes right, I'll be rushing in at very high speed. Yeah, especially against plunging fire. Well, that's debatable. Anti-flood, all of it. Barbette, all of it. Anti-torp, not caring. Torpedo size. Yes. Fast torps. Rangefinder? Nah. Not really required. As I'm rushing into range, I'll probably need to use my belt armor more than anything else. Let's see if I can go for 11 belt and then maybe 7-inch belt extended. Maybe even more. The plunging fire is going to be the biggest threat. There. The plunging fire will be the severity. Because the plunging fire has the possibility of detonating my turrets. And just dealing significant damage. Okay, this is the HMS Unlikely 2. I didn't even check what my torpedo range is. Torpedo range, 6.3. Not that anyone cares, because I'm going to be using those at minimum range anyway. Hello, German battleship. Sure, bring even more guns. That's 18 guns you got there, sir. Oh no. I'm not even sure if the Unlikely is going to make it into range. What? I hit my first shot. I've already inflicted more damage to them than they have to me. Range, 13 clicks and closing quickly. Current speed, 40 knots and increasing. And we've taken our first hit. Zigzag. Insofar as you can do that with a 30,000 ton ship that's traveling at 44 knots. Bounce, 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 bounce. ID 40%. Turn. Damage to the secondary tower. What are the heavy cruisers made out of? That's fairly important, because if they're torpedo builds, they're not torpedo builds. If they were torpedo builds, it would be dangerous to get closer. But, well, this is pretty much a suicide run anyway. I just want to see if I can get damage on that ship using torpedoes at all. ID 53%. Range 7.7. Still rushing in at 43 knots. At this point, it's going to be down to belt armor. Range 6.7. You don't have any torpedoes, do you? No, you don't. Okay, good. Doink. Belt armor working as intended. Now, identification 74. I'm thinking of launching the bow tube against her. I'm gonna either use starboard or port. So that's 2 torpedoes, 20 inch. Won't be enough. Unless she has minimum bulkheads. But that's a really big if. And that's banking a lot on that chance. Because if I can outflood her, then this might be viable. But you could then restart the battle, get a different... Oh shit. Get a different German ship, and find that you have a different type of threat. And different type of bulkheads. Few bulkheads. Okay. Sonar 3. Great. Turning circle. 771 meters. Okay. What's your chance to pen me? 34% only. Okay. Who's been lobbing torpedoes at me? Because it's not Aegir. It must be one of the heavies. These two heavies probably won't do that much as they're behind the Aegir. 3 clicks. At about, I think, 1.5, I'm going to launch the bow tube. Followed up by maybe the starboards. Because then I'll... well... maybe the port torpedo tubes would be a bit safer. Doink. Belt armor. The port torpedo tubes would be a bit safer. Because the port torpedo tubes would allow me to then sweep away in that direction instead of having to face the heavy cruisers and their supposed torpedo threat. Shit, I just torpedoed the heavy cruiser. Colonel has detected torpedoes. They have a turning circle of only 380 meters. That's impressive. Hard starboard. Torpedoes on the Aegir. That's very much a dangerous part of this journey. Because I'm very close to that battleship. These things reload in 38 seconds. It might hit the Aegir because the Colonel was so close. HMS unlikely to. Can you do it? This is gonna cause flooding on the bow. Anti-torpedo blister? 5? Oh, well, there goes that plan. Anti-torp blister 5? That means the torpedoes barely do anything. Wow, that accuracy was a bit bad for the Aegir. Port torpedo tubes. Come on. This does look more spectacular for a thumbnail. Not necessarily what truly happened in the Taskmaster challenge, but hey. Come on. Yes! Port torpedoes are away. Wait. Singular? Plunk. 59. They still have flooding on the bow, but I don't think they're going to care too much. For those of you who are currently sitting at your keyboard screaming, slow down! You're going too fast. This is not World of Warships. If I were to slow down, I would see the consequences of me slowing down in about 10 minutes from now. In which case, I would probably be very dead. Sure, I would be slowing down, I'd be making my turning circle smaller, but at the same time, it just doesn't really do that much. It's going to take a long, long, long time. The fastest way to slow down is to flood. That is not necessarily a great way to slow down for your ship, but it does slow you down. Now, I'm going to try and launch the starboard torpedo as well, although the Aegir is getting an increasingly high chance of evading that. I have done a total of 160 damage with 3 torpedoes. That's pretty sad. We got the Baden launching a torpedo, starboard torpedo out. Oh, torpedoes, dual. Okay, Aegir is down to 70% buoyancy. That's a battleship of 74,800 tons. Big girl. I am approaching from the stern. Haha. My rudder has taken such a blow that I think has been completely cleared off the ship. And that means I cannot turn back to port. So I'm stranded circling here. These torps are going to miss. I did launch another one from the bow tube, but I rather doubt that those do much. Maybe the port sides are reloaded. Yeah, port sides have been launched. Another torp coming in from the Colonel. Ship still refusing to listen to her rudder. I can only turn starboard. Although there won't be much of a ship left soon. Aegir, once again, flooding. Buoyancy 60% and dropping. 2 more torpedoes on the way. Not a threat. Looks like Colonel is also dodging those torps. Aegir, 55% structural. No, flooding. Structural, 89. Good lord, that anti-torp 5 really threw me off. I am pretty impressed with the capabilities of this ship of just negating most of the damage that's being thrown out at her. Because she has been seriously bombarded with shells, but a lot of it has bounced off. 244 have just been blocked. This torp could hit Aegir. But her buoyancy is going back up. Please hit. Somewhere on the stern. No, midships. Once again, flooding. Structural integrity on the HMS unlikely to. Dropping even further. We are flooding. 2 engines are out. Fire. Rudder still fucked. Although, I can still somewhat turn port at this point. Yeah, the ship would turn port again. So if I can just get my bow to point at the bottom, I might be able to torp her. But her chances of dodging those torpedoes or just closing some bulkhead doors and making sure that she won't flood are probably too good. At least she's out of torpedoes, which is nice. Range, 600 meters. Torpedo speed, 57 knots. Dodge this. No, you're not. See, that's some respectable damage. That's 500 points of damage. That's what happens if you don't have a torpedo blister on your ship. Starboard tubes. Range is increasing and the Baden's maneuvering. I don't think I'll be able to hit those. No, Baden's turning to starboard. 1 more torpedo salvo against the Colonel. Maybe. Fire, flooding, fire. I think the flooding will kill me. Oh, speeding torpedo from the Saxony. Fast torps, 62.5. Yeah, there goes the unlikely. Flooded. Okay, so my attempt completely failed. I really wonder what the other guys have been able to pull off. How much damage they've been able to do. And whether they've been able to do it at all. My torpedo build was unsuccessful. My 16-inch gun build was unsuccessful. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. How could I have approached this? What would have been a better option? Let me know down below, and I look forward to seeing your suggestions. If you have a good idea for a Taskmaster challenge, then let me know down below in the comment section as well. And if you'd like to support the channel, then please head over to Patreon, link down below, and pledge $1 or $2 to the channel. It really helps me out. Thank you guys for watching. I shall see you next week for the next Taskmaster Tuesday.